All right, traders, what's up? We're looking at the watch this video for Tuesday, August 20th. I'm showing you Yuma here, but ugly daily candle, right? But when you switch to fives and you see this thing, so gaps up, sells off, then rips, then comes back down, it looks like shorts are in control, right? And then it kind of grinds. And then it starts to be the longs are winning. It's nicely, here's the red to green. So it's nicely in the green territory on the daily at this point, right? Goes up and flags right below the half right there. This thing actually topped out 444. Wayne, there was a seller at the half. Wayne called it through 450. And notice the timing. Takes out 450, and then that was the big move of the day. The rest of it was a lot of chop. Wayne is so good at timing those whole number and half number inflection points. Pretty quickly, almost $2 a share. Great call by Wayne. He also called DPW, 1 minute candles. A rare 1 minute candle formation, so to speak, right? There's the opening 1 minute candle. This met like three things we look for. Whole number inflection point is also a red to green, okay? The opening candle sells off, and as it comes back up, we're looking at one of our sellers fail scenarios, straight out of the course for you course takers. Red to green, whole number inflection point break, high of day above as a catalyst, and also, the last thing, second mouse play, right? Because when it opened, it ripped through 8, sells off. So this is the second entry through 8. Wayne called this through 8, right at that inflection point with all the reasons I just mentioned, and one of my favorite reasons, the earlier high of day just above. So you get through that, that's a catalyst for more for higher prices, right? That's a catalyst for a squeeze, especially when you have a candle that looks like this. Sellers came in, pretty big volume. Look what happens when this gets through 8. Those sellers, then it breaks the high of day. Then it just squeezes. That's all this is, just a squeeze. And ended up going from Wayne's call of 8 to 10.68. That's $2.68 move in what, 6 minutes? Beautiful call. Met everything we look for. And then if you look at it now, ugly candle. Who cares? Got our money from it, right? And then overstock, I got to give Wayne credit for one more thing. Called this just a simple high of day break right here. Stop below the 5.8. And it gave, from I think the entry was 18.68, probably 25 cents risk, and it went to 19.40 pretty quickly and ended up going a little bit higher later. So those were some nice calls from the room. I'm in a bit of a mood because I just missed Baidu in after hours. I could have had it at 105. Swear to God, I could have had it at 105. And I think it's trading around 114 right now, and probably missed it by a half second. But anyway, let's go into the watch list for tomorrow. SONO, nice breakout today. Very strong volume. We'll look for a red to green or something like that on it tomorrow. SINA, big volume and a strong close. We're going to watch that one. T-Rove, TROV, nice volume for this stock and a pretty strong close. You see that 200-day up there? Could become a potential target tomorrow, especially if this opens below 3. Then we've got the potential whole number inflection point, plus today's high is 312, so there's a catalyst 12 cents above that, and a potential target of 200-day. So this one is certainly worth watching tomorrow for those reasons. JMIA, now this isn't a pretty chart, but a little bit of a volume spike today. It was just decimated here, then a little bounce, little sideways move, and now it's breaking to the upside. It's worth noting that it ran into the falling 20-day, so it's not really a bullish chart, right? But on an intraday basis, this thing had a really, really nice move. Shane, who, if you've been following us at all and seen the videos where we talk about Shane's tracker results, I mean, he is just absolutely killing it. He's applying everything from the course, and he's doing it well, and he's managing his risk, and he's just absolutely killing it. Anyway, Shane posted in chat this nice flag and the seller at 14. Look what happens when it gets through that seller at 14, all the way up to almost 1580. So I can't say enough about the teamwork and all the amazing posts in there. I do have this on watch for tomorrow, for the reasons I gave. It could have a follow-through day in this kind of nice rally it had today. Overall, though, that is one ugly daily chart. So keep that in mind. PSTV, I don't like this one very much, but it had this massive squeeze on Friday. It went from 820 to 1672. And then I don't mind a quiet inside day on lower volume. I actually like that. But those of you that know me know I don't like it as much when it's almost round-tripped all of Friday's action, right? Not counting the pre-market move and all that. But anyway, I would have preferred this to kind of be nicely in the middle of Friday's range at the worst. And it's down here near the lows. Having said that, If this thing trades, I don't know, a couple hours in a narrow range and then breaks to the upside, you could see a little mini squeeze. So as a day trader, I got to put that on watch. IEA only traded 113,000 today. It's kind of a weird chart, but because it had this big pop here from 243 to 434, I mean, that thing almost doubled in one session, and it's kind of curling back up. What else do you notice? It hit the whole number 4 to the penny. So I like this through 4 tomorrow, knowing that this high from 434 from the other day could be a target and could be a catalyst if it gets above that, and then you see the 200-day up there. So this one's interesting, but volume, it feels like nobody's watching it anymore, so I'm going to keep one eye on it, see if it gives, any volume comes in around that whole number 4. SOLY, not really a pretty chart either, but when you go to 15-minute candles, you can kind of see why I'm watching it. Let me pan out a little bit. So you had this big move back here, topped out at 1220. This was all in a period of what? 45 minutes. Looked like it was tapering off, and now it's curling back up and kind of has a nice little flag. If it can get over 1220, that might get some more buying coming in. But it's had some. You see this move here, and then today made a quiet, pretty sizable move too, from 10ish to 1120 and closing fairly strong. When you go back to the daily though, that wouldn't even catch my eye. Just happened to see these volume spikes in it the last week or so, and so that's why I kind of had an eye on it. But I can't lie, I don't love that daily chart, but sometimes SOLY can get moving so it lands on the chart, right? TLRY, this is one ugly daily chart. All the pot stocks are getting decimated, but now we've got 4 days down in a row. Just going to watch this for a bounce play setup, right? RKDA. Remember, as you watch these videos, I do not hold overnight, so all these are looking for intraday trades back to cash at night. RKDA, crazy mover, but after this gap up on Thursday, sold off again on Friday, sold off again today, getting down closer to that 8-day. I mean, this is the area I really like, what we call the buy zone. But again, RKDA, I'd love to see like an afternoon break out of a narrow range. Could get, you could get a nice day trade out of that if that happens. If not, we don't have to trade it, right? TRNX, never been a huge fan of this one, but I'll zoom in so you can see. Had this 45 cent to almost $1 in a couple sessions, and now 3 days lower on declining volume. Did hit the buy zone between the 8 and the 20 there. So this one goes on bounce watch for tomorrow. LK, relatively recent IPO. They call this the Chinese Starbucks. I like it because it's pretty beaten up for one. I think this was after earnings. It was over 26 bucks a little over a week ago, and now all the way down here under 19. You look to the left from where it closed, and what do you see? I mean, there's a lot of trading in this area, so we're kind of coming into support, potential bounce play for tomorrow. MRNA, this chart really doesn't look bad anyway. You had this big volume spike and then the sideways move like it's curling up, but it's on watch because it's gapping in after hours on news, I believe. So trading at 1438 as I'm making this video. The high back here was 1450. So, if it opens somewhere around 1438, and we don't know, a lot can happen between now and the opening bell tomorrow. We could say, hey, over 1450 is another potential catalyst, right? So something to think about. Where am I? All right, so that's MRNA. A couple more. NBRV, also after hours news, had that squinky candle, and I think it was halted intraday here, and then it came out of the halt in after hours and topped out slightly over 3, and right now it's trading around 269 as I'm talking. So possible gap and go tomorrow on that one. We're going to watch that one. And then lastly, Baidu, which I just said I could have had this at 105. It was trading in after hours. I knew the earnings were at 4:30, and I could have had that, 105. And then it just jumped to 108 before you know it. So probably would have had to anticipate a little bit, but I wanted it over 105 because this is the intraday, right? It was kind of topping out, flagging right around 105, and I heard the earnings announced. And anyway, right now it's trading at 114. So we're going to watch this one as a potential gap play tomorrow as well. That's plenty to watch, and we'll add some gappers to this in the pre-market as well. See y'all in chat tomorrow. Have a good night.